Break it down, girl. Ooh. Hi,
Hi,
guys.
it's
the
the
Migas. Welcome back.
To
How
another
are
episode.
you?
Great.
To another-
Great. Everything's great.
Great, because you
Great.
haven't finished Onyx Storm yet.
No,
Me neither.
no, I'm savoring
Yeah.
this
and
one.
this episode has no spoilers, so fair warning.
Fear not, my friends. Fear not.
You can keep watching.
Because I'm still lost. So don't you fucking worry.
I'm literally doing the audio with the book
Yeah.
because it's that much information.
Yeah. It's so much information. And the thing is, it's like they keep referring back to stuff that happened in Iron Flame, and I freaking forgot Iron
Same.
Flame.
Same, and I read it in November, so imagine.
Yeah, well, I read Fourth Wing twice, and then I was like, no, I'm not fucking reading Iron Flame again. I'm just not going to do it. Because I just, like, we read ACOTAR, and then I read the series again, like 2 months later. I was like, just, let me relive this again. But the hype is insane.
Yes.
It's fucking crazy.
I'm like here shedding tears because you didn't get to come to the midnight book release hosted by the Collective Bookstore in Verona. It was such it was such a Nora event. Literally, I'm there. It's like it was so chill. The music is at a good level.
Yes.
There was coloring. There was a freaking trivia thing, and whoever won, whoever got the most answers. I have a copy for you, by the way.
Thank you so much.
So remind me to give it to you. But it was so chill, and I'm just there the whole time I'm coloring. I'm like, Nora should be here. She should be here.
If you guys are wondering why I wasn't there, it's because I got strep and the flu.
Double whammy.
Like, I don't even want to think about what I went through.
You got like kangaroo punched.
Yo.
Twice.
And that jacked kangaroo that's like circulating all over freaking the gram. I'm like, bro, seriously? Like, why? And I didn't go to, like, you guys know when I call out of work, which is extremely rare, then I'm fucking dying. And I could work remote. And I was like, I'm not going in. I literally texted my boss. I was like, I don't feel good today. I'm not signing on. And I just threw my phone and like did the drop off everything and then just put the covers over my head. And I'm like, I need.
And I'm glad you did that because I know you're always just kind of pushing the envelope. She gave herself time to rest.
Yeah.
So make this be a little reminder to rest. Use the PTO.
Yeah.
You can't bring that with you.
No. And the thing is, sick days don't roll over. So I'm like,
take advantage. If your sick days don't roll over, take advantage.
I'm gonna be like, I'm so sick at the beach.
Reading a book.
Right? Seriously. It's a mental health day, guys.
But isn't it insane? I know you mentioned that the author of this book, the writer, Rebecca Yarros, was coming to New York City.
Yes.
She was here this past weekend. And how much were those tickets?
It was like $1,000.
That's insane for a 75-minute presentation release. Yes, it came with a special edition of the book. Obviously, getting to be in the same room with her. But what else? How do you justify that praise?
So the thing is, like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. Because it was like one of the ads. And I'm like, oh, all right, whatever. And I start looking. The ticket that I saw, I'm like, ma'am, she better be like riding in with Andarna.
The dragon.
With one of the dragons. If you're going to make me come and pay this. Like, absolutely not. Like, no, there's no way. There was no way. I'm like, $1,000. No. You should pay me. So that I could tell you what I feel about that price. Because that was insane.
I know. And because you shared the price, and of course, I saw a few people on my feed attend. I'm like, damn, girl, you paid your rent or whatever, or you're not going to pay your rent.
Or they're sitting very far and it was like, crappy seats and they're in the hundreds.
It wasn't that big of a
but
arena,
still,
right?
I mean.
Just for the experience.
I'm sorry, anything over $75, you're not going to get me to go.
Release,
you're just not going to get me to go. Yeah. Like, unless it's, there is an event in Vegas and it's like a romance book, like, convention. And I don't even know what the price is, but like I would pay in the hundreds for that. Because you get to meet a bunch of romance writers. Like, you can get their books while they're there.
Again,
like, they
you
have
can
little kiosks.
justify.
I can justify the price for that. And it's like, okay, so it's Sin City. And I'm like, as you know, I like my books spicy, so let's go.
And I guess you're more obviously versed to share, even though obviously I'm reading.
Yes.
But what are these books about? Because everybody's like, I had a couple people DM me, what is that book about? What is Onyx Storm? I'm seeing it everywhere. And I'm like, it's not just a book. It's a freaking series. It's a series. That's all I was able to share. All right.
So whenever I describe this, so I'm not a fantasy girly. I don't really, not that I don't get it. I'm just like, so are you all just living in the same time? Because like in my head, like right now, Powerless, ACOTAR.
Yes, it's all tied in together for me.
I feel like they're all just living in different parts of the world and it's all happening at the same time. That's how I'm thinking about it. But anyways, so Fourth Wing is a war college, romantasy, fantasy. If you like, I always say if you like House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, also Hunger Games and Harry Potter, you would fuck with this. Like,
and with spice.
With spice. With some spice.
With some good spice.
With some good spice. And which is great. But I'm going to tell you, like, this is not a spoiler. And sorry, Fourth Wing's been out for so long. So if you haven't read it, I don't know what to fucking tell you. But it's like, Violet, I'm like, girl, how is Daddy Zayden giving you all of this when you're fragile as hell? Because she has like a chronic illness. Yes. I'm like, so what? Like, if he touches you, you're just going to... And he's supposed to be like this big dude or whatever. And I'm like,
you don't see it. You can't. I'm like, you can't.
It's not, the math's not mathing.
You can't picture it.
Yeah, the math's not mathing for me. But yeah, so if you want like a good entry into fantasy, the Fourth Wing series is great. ACOTAR, because I love ACOTAR. Powerless is good, but it is young adult and
so very like PG.
Super PG. It was like, I actually found this this trending sound. I'll share it on here so you guys can hear it. It's so funny. It was like, this is how young adult female main characters are. It's like, and then he told me that I was beautiful, and I was like, yes, I am fucking beautiful. And it's like, it's so stupid. And I was like, that's literally how it is.
Because it has to remain clean.
Like, clean, girl. Do you know what these kids are doing? Like, shut up. They know more than me.
This is true.
Like, excusez-moi. But anyways, let's
continue with the current events. And also, we know that this past week was TikTok was brought back. That's what I'm going to say about that. I did say that it wasn't. Yeah, weren't going to be scrolling through TikTok no more. Yeah, but clearly, still scrolling.
10 or 12 hours later.
It was like less than 24 hours later. Like, some people got their family members back for a brief moment, and then they were just sucked back into TikTok.
Yeah.
So sorry if you guys are mourning that. And it was also the inauguration. Mm-hmm. All I'm going to say about that was that it was Caleb's second inauguration. So it's just like kind of like, oh shoot, 4 years ago, he was barely one, and he was there like in his little bounce, I remember, on the couch, just watching the first inauguration of his life. Then he got to watch the second one. And one of the things that he said when they mentioned President Biden, he was like, President Vitamin. I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? And that's why I was able to capture him on camera. And actually, when I posted that on TikTok, I haven't posted on TikTok like in 2 years. Yeah. So I posted that on there. And then that's like main current events, but personal current events, it was Kelvin's 40th birthday. He made it to the 40th decade. We celebrated by going to Rare Steakhouse in Little Falls. If you don't know, that is one of the top steakhouses in New Jersey. So check them out. Definitely make reservations in advance. 10 out of 10. Service was great. Food phenomenal. Can't say any more about that. But one of the things during our dinner conversation, I was like, ooh, I would love to ask him a couple things. So I asked him, and this is something too that you can kind of ask yourself, or each birthday, if you have a birthday coming up. I mean, we all do.
If you have one.
I asked him what were his lowest moments, like in the past 10 years. And then I also asked him what were his highest / best moments. And that it was just like a nice reflective conversation. And then I was like, oh, I've got to make sure I ask myself those things on my 40th. And then another thing that happened was Caleb's kindergarten information session. Like, what?
Were you a mess?
No physical tears coming down, but then not in my throat. And it was just, I feel like a roller coaster of emotions for sure. But the biggest one that I walked out of there with was gratitude. Like knowing that we picked, and this school goes from pre-K to 6th grade. So I'm like, this may be our home for a while. And especially that the principal was actually the one that led the kindergarten information session. I thought that was so great. I literally felt like I was like at a comedy show because she was hilarious, just how she was explaining everything. But one of the biggest things that stood out to me, she was like, you have to invest in your child. You know, she was like, what's the point of having the latest purse or the latest this if your child's education is in the fucking trash? And I was just like, damn, sis. And she was like, priorities. And like, they make such a difference in the long run. You know, it's like, damn, that's a lot of money. But you have to sometimes put that dollar figure aside when it comes, again, investing in yourself, investing in your children. It will show up later in life. And just simply, I don't have that much of a lifespan, I guess, with Caleb. But again, seeing him at the little gym at 4 months old and seeing him at the little gym as a 4-year-old and just the difference, the progression, his development, I'm like, I don't regret $1 that I have left at this gym. And I've had so many like makeups that some of them have just never been used. And I'm not even bothered by it. I'm like, it is what it is. I just couldn't make it that weekend and I couldn't make the makeup. And it is what it is. But I'm thankful again for taking that investment into him. This thing keeps locking on me. I'm like, this is why I need my pen and paper.
Technology is not our best friend.
But what are your personal things for this week besides, I know, recovering?
Yeah, recovering. Work was really busy because, you know, now it's like everything that we like circled back on is circling back.
In December, the circling back in January.
Okay. Oh, so you were serious. You were not just joking. Great. But yeah, so I got some work done. Well, a lot of work done. Ollie had another basketball game.
Did he win?
They won. They have him as point guard, which is so funny to see. I'm like,
is he taller than?
I mean, for his age, yes, but then the group, the team, they're all like the same, pretty much the same height.
He just got the
and I'm like, all right, Steph Curry, okay,
Ali Curry,
right? Ali Curry. He's like, Mom, what? You know, it's funny. Fun fact, if I call him Ollie, he hates it. And he goes, my name is Oliver. Oh. And Alina does the same thing. When I call her Ellie, she goes, who is that?
Okay, so next time I see him, I'm definitely going to be, hey, Ollie!
Yeah. And then he's like, that's not my name, it's Oliver. And then Zoe, she'd be like, my name is Soso. She doesn't, because she can't say her name. So just like, fun. So what else did I do? Today we had a birthday party. So I actually took the kids to a birthday party and they did so good.
Oh, good.
The thing is, you know, being an autism mama, it's so hard for me to be like, all right, let loose. But I literally, the entire party, I'm like, 1, 2, 3, okay. Oh, wait, 1, 2. Where's the third one? I'm like, where'd they go?
Where are you?
I'm like, hold on. I see that. And you know, my trick with the girls, I put a bow in their hair so that I could see them. Smart. And the teacher actually asked me, why do you put a bow in? Like, she's like, oh, Alina has bows for every single outfit. And I'm like, yeah, I do that for you. Because then when you see her head bopping around, you know where she is.
Right. Smart.
So that's what I do.
Mom tip.
But they had a good time at the party. It was really fun. They ate, they played, they did the whole shebang. It was really fun. What did I do yesterday? I'm trying to think. Like, guys, honestly, when I have like a moment.
I know.
Oh, here is an ultimate win. See, my Saturdays are not as eventful as Mr. Caleb's Saturdays. I wish.
You're going to start changing soon too.
I wish I had a chauffeur to take me from point A to point B and put my ass in the gym. Like, get your ass in the gym. But anyways, I folded not 1, not 2, not 3. This is showing how fucking lazy I am. But 5 laundry baskets.
Wow.
And
all in one day?
All in one day and put them away.
Ooh, definitely a win for sure. And just putting them away.
But then I have a whole other bin of socks. So now when I get home, it's another level of hell that I'm going into, but I will have a glass of wine while I find the socks.
Onyx Storm
yes,
playing,
and my headphones, so It's fine. It's socks, Onyx Storm, and wine. Oh my God.
You definitely got to make a post about that.
Socks, Onyx Storm, and wine.
Perfect Saturday evening.
Saturday evening.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
But yeah.
Hopefully we get to finish around the same time so we can converse.
No, because I'm like that chat is going off. And I'm y'all need to shut the hell up. Like, and then there's other ones that they're like, oh my God, it's a spoiler, Onyx Storm. And I'm like, that came out like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Like, calm the fuck down. We know that you read for a living and that's great. But the rest of us, stop.
Yeah. That's why I was like, I don't want to by mistake click on there and
it tells you.
Like, or anything. That's why I'm like barely scrolling on Instagram too, because I just feel like with the whole TikTok thing, a lot of TikTokers have migrated to Instagram. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm going to see bookish shit on here too, because usually I mostly see it on TikTok if I'm on there or what you guys send. I feel like my algorithm is not so bookish, but now it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to be careful scrolling.
Yeah. Doom scrolling.
That's why like post quickly like some things and just get out the chat.
Yep, that's right.
Get out the app.
That's right. But let's dive into this episode. It's going to be a good one.
It is. But real quick, before we do that, share one dinner.
Oh, thing.
I know you were
all over the freaking place.
In the trenches.
In the trenches. I just made, I do a menu every single week. So like, we'll do like a pasta dish, Taco Tuesday, all that. One of our favorites is it's like a fettuccine Alfredo with broccoli, and I do grilled shrimp.
Ooh.
And I don't mix it in the sauce. I put the shrimp like on top. It's so good because I season it differently. I put it on the side, but it's a family favorite.
I love it.
Yeah, and it's like garlicky because I saute the broccoli. I make a bomb-ass sauteed broccoli. I'm not even going to lie.
Well, I haven't tried it. So
it's all right. Well,
I finally got some bolognese to try, so let's see.
Oh, snap. But yeah, so that's what I
made.
It's like a little staple.
And it seems like it's a fast thing to make.
Super.
Too.
You know me. I'm
pasta, broccoli, shrimp cooks like in 2 minutes.
Yeah, my mom calls me Rachel Ray. She's like, oh, your little 10-minute meals. And I'm like, yeah, but you love these 10-minute meals. So
right. And they work. They work. They're efficient. You save money and you're eating, what you made.
And I have 3 kids. I'm like,
calm down.
Yeah. Hold horses.
Like, thank you.
Tell us about your recipes.
Well, mine, I went like, and I dusted off my crock pot.
Damn.
I feel like I have not used that thing.
Since crock pots were in?
Since I was gifted it, yeah. I think the last time I literally made something in there, I had made, and I clearly remember it, it was a chili, like a turkey chili, I think that I made. So I'll probably definitely make that next. But I dusted it off by doing a tomato basil soup of a recipe. And if you guys follow me on my personal page, I did post where I got the recipe from. She added red pepper, like a regular red pepper. And I was like, oh, you know what? Let me add it to it. She was like, it's optional. But I was like, let me add it for extra vitamin C, whatever. And then Calvin tasted it. He said it was good. But he was like, next time, let's try like without the red pepper just to see how it comes out. Because again, you're making everything. It's like everything from scratch. And I also got an immersion blender. It was like the first time. I was like, I've always been wanting to get one. But I was like, I don't, like, no recipe is really calling me to get it. That recipe did it for me.
I have one. I love using an immersion blender.
It's amazing. Yeah, and that crock pot thing, everything just literally that's the only thing that was dirty besides the dishes that we used the dinnerware.
How did it come out though?
It was really good. Yeah. And I got like the fresh Parmesan like block of cheese and like grated it, I was in Italy. With my little violin. Now I low-key want some more of that soup. Do I have some? I think I do have some.
Oh,
some. Let me know if you want some.
And it's cold.
Yeah.
So it's like
I'll give you half and I'll take the half. Sorry, production. I should have left you like trade you for some bolognese. Here's some tomato paste. Next time I got you.
Oh man.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get into it. Drum roll. She's putting her hat down because it is a subject or a topic that I even told Nora, I was like, I don't want to cry.
Yeah.
I don't want to cry, but because it's digging or peeling the layers back.
Yeah.
And going back in time to our teenage selves.
Yeah.
And not so much that, what we each needed from our mothers. And we're not going to go as comfortable as we can get to share, because some of the stuff we're not going to get into it.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. But one of the biggest things for me with my mom that I feel that I needed from her as teenager Cindy was for her to listen more and judge less and compare less. And by her doing that all the time, anytime I would try and come up to her to talk and share how I was feeling, it was quick, like, oh, well, so-and-so was doing that. Like, and I'm like, excuse me? Did you even hear what I said? Like, did you even, like, I can't even say, like, as far as, did you even hear the need? Like, that specifically from you. Like, yes, I could have obviously went and talked to my father, but specifically from her, what I needed. And then it was just met with all this, in a sense of, it just felt like pushback. Like, it wasn't important what I was sharing, because so-and-so already went through it, or she went through it. Like, you'll be fine, type of stuff. And I'm like, bro, and I feel like because of that, it just made me shut down more and more. Like, the more, because of course I just kept trying. You know, we're kids.
We're kids,
14, 15 years old. So much is also going on besides puberty. And with me, drastically, it was like uprooting me from New York City, dumping me in straight up suburbia with like zero diversity. And I'm like, what is this? Like, where are we? And we literally just crossed the bridge. It wasn't like we moved cross country or anything like that. So that in itself was just a lot for me. And then again, trying to, like, again, my best friend, my friend, or who I wanted to be my best friend, my friend, my mother, it just wasn't there. It was completely missed. And I'm just like, bro, do you feel like that happened the same? Like, as far as like opening up to try to have a conversation, or there wasn't even like, the room wasn't even set for you to go up and say something?
So with our dynamic, the thing is, it's like my mom, you know, she came here from a Muslim country, whatever. So like the religion was always a big thing. And in our culture and everything, it's like I can't sit there and talk to my mom about anything that I'm going through. And it's especially because of how different it is from her upbringing to my upbringing over here, because like what I'm exposed to in school, what I was exposed to in school, the friends that I had in school, she didn't deal with the same things back home because everyone had the same values, everyone had the same thoughts. Over here, we're a melting pot. So clearly, so many different religions, cultures, all that mixed in one. And then you're just kind of like, okay, well, so and so's doing this. And like, I don't see anything wrong with it. But if I said something about her or like asked a question, it was met with more of a disciplinary action versus an actual talking. Like, she wouldn't talk to me about it. It was more like discipline. You can't do this. God's going to hate you. This and that. Like, and it was always that. And it's still to this day, that's just how all Muslims tend to communicate, at least in the culture that I'm in. And it's still just it's very disheartening. And it's very, I do notice also with like my mom's friends and like those, like the people that are around her, they take their family first, then their nuclear family. So the family they were born into, they defend tooth and nail, like they are all about them versus
the children.
Wow. So it's like my mom, when my grandma was, it was like my mom, my dad, my sisters, my brother, like we're this family. And then anything I had to say was like, nope, nope.
So not even the space was there for
not even the space. Yeah.
Christ.
So growing up in, you know, I grew up in Weehawken, and big melting pot. Like I was just learning all these different cultures. So like, as you know, you tend to like kind of mirror what your friends are doing and all of that stuff. And my mom would just, Mom, you can't do that. And it was always met with just yelling. So distance, no communication, hiding things, just because I just didn't want to hear it.
Mm.
And that's everything I'm working on right now to not bring that to my kids. One, because I was like, I love my Latinos. Hence why I married a Latino.
She's like,
So there's
I'm not
that.
marrying my culture. So America gave you the freedom to do that, to explore. So I guess like a silver lining there, even though it was a mist of
and no
more shit.
And no shade. Like no shade to my Moroccan folk and the Moroccan men. Like we got some good looking ass men, but that mentality, I'm like, I'm good. No thanks. Go over there. Habla español only.
Enter Daddy Yankee.
Yeah, no. My little short king.
Enter Bad Bunny.
Right, seriously. Oh, Benito. No, for me it would be like a Mike Towers. Like I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She's like, I like that.
Yeah, no. Benito's not really my. He's not bonito to me.
He's not your cup of tea.
He's not my cup of cafe. But I'm like, all right, Mike Towers. I see you. I see.
Or your cup of pitorro de coco or something like that. I literally just learned that.
What is that?
Right. First of all, that's one of the songs on his new album, Bad Bunny.
Okay.
And I was just like, but what is that? And there's this one influencer. Her name is Judith. She is Dominican. She was originally from DR, moved to Orlando. She actually got to meet Bad Bunny. Like he just did a pop-up at a podcast where she was recording, completely surprised her. So there is where she's learning about this pitorro thing. And it literally looks like a Mama Juana bottle.
Mm.
So it's kind of like that, like something that's been, I guess, what is it? Fermented. I don't know what to say. Fermentated.
Fermentated.
And it's just pretty much that, like their version of a Mama Juana, but it looks like it's just more like clear.
Gotcha.
So that's what pitorro de coco is. So he's not your pitorro de coco type of cup.
I need my Mama Juana.
Hold on. I'm trying to pull this up here because I know we had some more to share on this topic. And this is to all of our moms because I know eventually we'll get there as well. So shout out to Charmin for this topic discussion. And again, you guys, if you have an idea or something that you guys want us to talk about, shoot us a DM, text us if you have our numbers,
honestly,
email us.
I feel like Liz too. Shout out to Liz because she has two older kids and she's she's doing a phenomenal job. So like, Liz, what's your tea?
I know, right?
What's the recipe?
Share some tips in the comments for sure for us moms that aren't in that teenage level phase yet, but obviously we're all gonna pass through it. And one of the things that Charmin also said is like, if you're a toddler mom now, like pay attention. But that's kind of the little shitstorm that's gonna stir up in their tweens and teenage years. So they're already kind of showing you it's a little snippet of, especially again, their attitude and how they are responding. So as a toddler, in the toddler phase, I feel like you still have time to sit there and kind of take control of the situation.
Yeah.
Where I feel like once the teens and teenagers start to happen, you kind of lose a little bit of that control because, again, now their friends are a priority. Parents become the background. And I'm saying this from my own personal experience, especially, again, having a listen and not, or having a judging mom truly made me step over. And again, shout out to Charmin. She was literally like that first friend here in Jersey that I was able to be an open book with. And it was my sounding board. Again, at that age, you're just so much going on. And recently, too, my mother shared with me that she felt jealous of Charmin because I was able to tell Charmin all these things that I couldn't tell my mother. And I'm like, sis, because she listened and didn't judge. Yeah. And again, I felt safe talking to her. It's not that like I felt unsafe telling my mom things, but I know, again, I was wasting my time. Like, what was the point?
Yeah.
And one of the things, too, that I remember that I freaking joined the military at the fresh age of 17. So I was still in high school, still a minor. So my mom had to sign for me because I think my dad was working late or whatever. So we sat across the table from the recruiter. She's like, "Are you sure you want to do this? You're joining at a time of war." And I'm like, "Listen, sis." I was like, "You told me to be independent, all these things." I was like, "This is part of my foundation for that." And I was able to, again, go and do all of that. But like, I also feel like, yes, I joined to relieve my parents of the financial burden of college, because that was one of the things that was being promoted. Literally, I got the brochure in the freaking mail, because everybody always asks, like, "What made you want to join the military?" I was like, "That brochure in the mail." And I was the one that called up that recruiter. I was like, "Yo, what's up? I want to do this thing." But truly, I feel like it was for me to leave the nest, because the nest was just becoming like too chaotic for me, that I feel like I couldn't even like be myself in a sense, or flourish how I wanted to flourish. So yes, it was a wild out decision. If you're a teenager right now listening to this, you don't have to join the military to escape.
I'll share how I left the nest.
There's other
ways.
There's other healthy ways as well. Obviously, I feel like an extremist when it comes to certain things. When I make decisions like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Fuck it. I'll suffer the consequences later. But I also, too, everything in life, you have to make those sacrifices, and then you will reap what you sow. And I feel like, yes, it was crazy for me to join. Yes, went overseas, all that stuff. But now I'm truly, in a sense, and not even right now, like just throughout, I've definitely have seen the benefits of it. Especially, again, even just simply on my resume. You know, if I'm applying for a competitive position, like different things like that. Obviously, along with my degree and experiences and things like that. But I definitely feel that the military truly helped me kind of branch away. And it's funny because when I came back home from Iraq, my mom literally said, "You came back as a monster." And I was like, "Excuse me, man?" But you know why? It's because I became who you guys see now. I was shy as hell as a teenager, as a child, very just to myself, not an open book like now. And I guess, I don't know if it was just in the moment or whatever, how my brain processed what she said. But I was like, "That's not true." I was like, yeah, I mean, I came back with some anger, like angry and all this stuff. But I was like, I truly feel that the military brought out my true character. It was just sitting dormant in my body. Like, it helped me be outspoken. It helped me not be shy. It helped me.
Did it help you be all that you can be?
I don't know if that's the Marines.
No. I think is that the Army?
I can't even remember. It's been so many years that I've left that organization. Obviously, always carry it with me. I always say it's like joining the biggest co-ed fraternity in the world, because still have some friendships from the military, and it's definitely an experience. So definitely helped. But anything else that you wanted to share on, I guess, something that you wish, I guess, would have received from your mom in those times where you needed her?
Honestly, just attention and more understanding. Like, I know that she was going through a transition, coming to a new country, working, doing all of these things, but having that mentality to raise us as if we would have been raised in Morocco is like, it's not the same. So to also think like, my mom's just kind of like all over the place because she wanted us to reach for the stars, but under her, like, her guidance and in her way. So it was like, you can go, but not too far, or you could do this, but we've always had this conversation and like always have had this thing. Like, I've always felt that she was not jealous, but to the point where it's like she came and did all of these things. But then, yes, I'm so fortunate to have been born here, raised here, and have different opportunities. But what I'm doing with the opportunities is so different. So like, as now I'm like, I'm also a mother of three. You're a mother of three. I'm a mother of three. I've done X, Y, Z. I'm doing these moves. I'm doing that. And when we still to this day have conversations, a lot of it has to be reserved and brought back because I can't. It feels braggy, and I never wanted, like, I should never feel like that with my mom, that it feels braggy. It's more like
she should be your number one cheerleader.
Exactly. Like, I would want my kids to tell me like, "Oh my God, I just signed this deal," and I'm like, "Oh my God," not, "Oh, well, what is that going to mean for me?" Yeah. So it's a very give and take. Lot of take, take my sanity.
No, and it's interesting because I feel like we can relate in that sense where there was so much strictness and boundary set, but it didn't make us want to conform to your rules.
Mm-mm.
Like we just said, F that, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah.
I remember even at 17, the guy that I was dating was way older than me. And she was so upset with that because I was like, this guy's going to grant me my freedom. As far as like, I didn't have a car at the time and things like that. And she would get like upset with that. And I get it because her biggest thing was just like, you have to go to school and obviously like not get pregnant and all this stuff. And I'm just like, I am going to do that, but I'm also going to have fun.
Yeah.
I feel like I can balance both and know the consequences of, okay, if I have SEX, this is what could happen.
Yeah.
Or whatever, or this is how my life can change, or the responsibilities that I'm going to have. Like, I will never forget, I literally had left my house in high school. I wasn't living with my parents, and I came back to say bye from before I left to boot camp. And people have died in boot camp. So I was like, let me just at least be a good daughter and go say goodbye, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
I literally opened the door. The first thing she said, she was like, let me guess, you're pregnant. And I'm like, no, ma'am. Hi, I'm here to say goodbye. I'm leaving to the military. I'm going to go serve my country, bitch. And it was just like, damn, sis, you still have that mentality. Like, I graduated high school. I got accepted into a college. I'm about to go off to the military. And like, what else do you want from me? And I feel like you say now, like how it's still present till this day.
Mm-hmm.
But now again, I've learned to just not react.
Yeah.
Because before, again, the anger was just like, and again, we would just bump heads, where now it's just like, I can have an amicable relationship. I can sit in the same room, have a conversation, hee hee ha ha. But again, also mindful of, yes, if I share this with her, this is going to be the response.
Exactly.
So again, I feel like we can have
Yeah.
a follow-up to this episode. Definitely will bring you more next season. Not that the season is ending, but soon. But I feel like there's a topic that we can definitely dive deeper in. If you have any questions on this subject or any tips, please comment below. Don't forget to like.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Share. And honestly, thank you guys. Thank you for all of the feedback on our previous episodes. Please, let's keep it going. Make sure, like I said, to subscribe. Subscribers, especially like on YouTube and all that jazz, is what gets us paid. We're super transparent. Like, let's keep it real.
Yeah, seriously. Let us keep bringing you this show.
Yes, we love to do this. I want to keep doing this. But of course, we also we'll love to make this our main gig. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? We love you guys. I hope that something resonated for you in this episode. And if you're reading Onyx Storm, also like get in the DMs. Let's talk about it. By the time I think this episode drops, we should hopefully be done. I think reading. We have the weekend, so
we'll see. We'll see.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you for listening.